Welcome to Impact Phase 1, where tech meet mystery. Unlock powerful digital skill, master new tech, and follow your future. One shot at a time. Subscribe, learn, and level up. All at Impact Fuse. Subscribe to our channel. Welcome to Impact Phase 1, your home for powerful tech tutorials that spark digital growth. Today we begin a brand new series which we are going to be working on computer basic for beginner to pro. Okay, so if you are joining this channel today and you have the intention to learn computer, that means that you have never even used a computer before and you want to learn computer from like a beginner to a professional. This is where you are on the actual channel, and what you have to do here is just to click on a subscribe button, turn on notifications so that whenever we add any new video, you are going to be there. Okay, so in today's video, we are going to be talking about operating system, or what they call it the OS. Okay, an operating system or OS means software that run on computer, phone, or tablet. Okay, think of it like a brain of your machine. It controls everything. So now, when you have a computer, a phone, or a tablet, or any other devices that uses operating system, these are just the operating system now will be the main controller, is the main brain behind it. If you are doing computer science, they'll tell you that operating system as a set or the collection of code, software written by programmer that help to manage and run the computer smoothly. It tells the computer what to do, how to do, and how to manage it. It manages all the hardware, because when we're talking about operating system, your phone will just be nothing but a collection of electronics chips on its own. Your computer will be nothing, your tablet will be nothing, on it will just be the collection of hardware equipment on its own. But now this software that we'll be talking about here, the operating systems, now come in now to coordinate it, to tell it that okay, this camera hardware that is here, or the camera is a electronic circuit that is here, this is how you have to function. This is when you have to snap, and this is when you have to stop snapping. Okay, so that is just a work of when you press the power button of your computer or of your phone, the operating system is loaded. Okay, and it manages all the other program. So it allows you to interact with your device, clicking, dragging, typing, and more. So once your phone is off, that means that the operating system is shut down, but the circuit, the circuit, but all the electronics are still there. But what goes to sleep is the operating system, the same on your computer. Now, when you power it on your phone, why is it that you always see that when you power on your phone or your computer, it is taking so much time to come on? Because you have to load the operating system. Okay, you have to load this software, and when you load this software now, the time that is taking to come on, it is checking everything on your computer or on your phone or on any of your equipment that is using the operating system, to see that everything is intact before it start moving. For instance, there are some situations in which you may load a computer, and when it checks until you reach a certain level, it tells you that this is not there. Why? Because this operating system is the one testing. They call it it perform what it call booting. Okay, booting. During the booting, you load the basic input and the output of the computer, which you call it the BIOS. Yes, you load the basic input and the output of the computer, which you call the BIOS of the computer or the BIOS of your phone, and check. Maybe your phone screen is not working well, maybe the camera is not working well. It is the function of the operating system to check here and dictate to tell you that okay, this one is working and this one is not working. And in some cases, when one of these hardware fails or anything fails, the operating system dictate it and tell you, the user, to know that okay, this is not okay, so you have to work on this particular. The operating system of your computer will help you to open file, use the start menu, open browsers, etc. Without an operating system, your computer is just a block of metal and wires, the same thing applies to your phone. If your phone doesn't have an operating system, I believe that most often, especially when Android was just introduced, we always have a failed software, crash software. And when this software crash, they'll tell you to take it to the technician, where the technician have to do what is called flashing. Flashing was just the same like in computer. When a software, when the operating system of the computer fail, is what they perform what is called formatting. Okay, formatting, where they have to erase the old software that is there and install the new one so that they can start working very well. So when the operating system fail, remember the operating system is a category of software. It fall under softwares. Okay, when this particular software operating system fail, your equipment becomes nothing but just like a chip, just like a collection of metal chips that is packed and keep together, because at that particular point nothing can still happen again. So now let's move down to look at type of operating system. There are many types of operating system, with the most popular one includes the Windows operating system, which is the most common on laptops and personal computers, okay, or PC. So this is the category of the operating system that you can see, which is called the Windows operating system. You can see here on the screen, and it mostly comes up with this mark. Okay, it mostly comes out with something like this nature, as you can see here. So that is the Windows operating system. Then we have the Mac operating system, which is for Apple, and which is found on Apple MacBooks and iMacs. Okay, so when you want to buy a MacBook computer, just know that the operating system that you are going to have there is called the Mac's operating system. The next one that we have is called the Linux operating system, free and open source, often used by developers. So if you're a developer, most developers will know about this. System developers, okay, they always use the MacBook or the Linux operating systems to be able to work. So you have the next one, which is called the Android operating system. Android operating systems run on phones and tablets, and we have the iOS, which is used on iPhones and iPads. Each operating system, each operating system have its strength, but it all serve the same purpose, helping you to use your device. The operating system have five key jobs. It have five key jobs. The five key jobs of the operating system that you have to know. They provide a user interface. Okay, let's come here. This computer that I'm using here is the computer that I'm using here is running on Windows 11. Okay, it is running on Windows 11 now. So now, before I go in here, let's before I come to even show you that it's running on Windows 11, let's first name these key points. Then we'll return back here to see this. Okay, so it provides the user interface, letting you to click on apps, open your windows and navigate inside your window. Okay, so if the operating system is not operating system on this computer, I cannot be able to maybe launch my VLC media player, as you can see here, or open a browser, or type anything in this computer, okay, or perform any action on this computer. So it is with the help of uh, it is the help of the operating system that I am able to do this. Also, if I want to access the Wi-Fi of this computer and there is no operating system, that means that I'll be able to say even the speaker of this computer. If I would want to use the speaker of this computer, it requires a software to be able to control the volume, whether I increase it or I reduce it. Okay, so now it also helps us to do our to perform file management. So file management like saving and organizing your document. We'll be coming back to this. I'm just naming it now. So now it also helps to control the devices on your computer, like managing the keyboard, the mouse, and the printer, and other things like the microphone. If you are using a microphone, a camera, you want to connect a camera, any other a projector to your computer, it is the function of the operating system to manage this. Okay, say running software, launching of program like Microsoft, like Word, Chrome, games, and others. So Those are the functions of operating system. Now, it also provides the basic security. Okay, when a technician is formatting your computer, the operating system always gives a technician the possibility of managing your security, like what, creating the password in such a way that a like administrative password, where you can just come in, you click there and you pick up things. All right, when you can just click there and you type your password before you can access the system. So that is provided by the operating system. Also, operating system can dictate malwares. Malwares are like maybe viruses in the system. Okay, maybe if I go and collect something on my flash, like a movie, music to play, then I take it on my flash drive, I come and put on the system. When there's a virus there, actually the operating system is going to dictate and maybe stop me from using that. Okay, so like you say, there's a software called the operating system can do that. All right. Here's a history of operating system that we have to know before we move in deeply to the functions of operating system, where we are going to be manifesting it here. So operating system by itself, operating system has evolved a lot. All right. Operating system is not just something that is started today. Like, remember, we have the Android operating system today, and we also have the Linux operating system. All this operating system has evolved and they are still evolving. Okay, it began since the 1980s. It begins since the 1980s. Computer used text only, like the MS-DOS. Okay, MS-DOS was the first operating system that came into existing. That means the Microsoft Dex operating system. When they call it the MS-DOS, it means Microsoft operating system. So you dated since long when Microsoft started working on operating system. The first operating system that came into existing was the DOS operating system, which this DOS operating system, they were using what it calls the command. Okay, command, which was something like this. This was how this operating system looks like, the DOS operating system. Okay, so they come in the form of a command prompt like this, where user could only use the command to navigate there. For example, if I want to maybe view the directory, I have to hit a command like dir. Okay, the dir will bring, these are all the folders that are found in all the locations that are found inside my computer. You can see we have all these things here. So that is just how the DOS operating system it looks like. So for you to be able to use this one, you have to understand the commands. Okay, you have to understand the command, and you should be able to know how to type your commands and use the commands very well to be able to use the computer. So this is just how the DOS operating systems they look like and they were the first operating system that it came into existing. Okay, so if you want to learn command prompt, you can just drop the comment, your comment in the comment section that I need to learn command prompt. Okay, if I am going to make a video about that, it based on the demand, because actually this is out of the market, but most people, most developers, they still use the command prompt to do most of their tasks. Okay, so after the DOS operating system, then it comes the graphic operating system, like Windows 95 and the Windows operating system that we are using today. So when Windows 95 came, now after when the DOS operating system, which was using the command prompt, came to the end, when the air finally comes to an end, now Microsoft decided to say that it was not user friendly. Okay, like the interface that I just opened, like the interface that I just bring here, this the CMD interface. When you want to look at this interface, you see that it is not too user friendly. Most people are not friendly to use this type of interface. Okay, so they come out with a graphic user interface, or which now we call it the GUIs, the GUIs operating system, which this GUIs operating system started with a Windows 95. From Windows 95, it navigate up to Windows XP, where in Windows XP you have you have something like XP Service Part 1, you have XP Service Part 1, Service Part 2, and Service Part 3. So this was just, when you are hearing about this Part 3, it was just like keep improving on the interface, improving upon the interface, and bringing one from one new tech to one new tech. Okay, bringing from one new tech to one new tech. As you can understand, a Windows 95, it comes maybe with low graphic user interface, and now when other software start coming out, the graphics that Windows 95 come with, it cannot support this interface like the Mavis Beacon typing program and other things. So Microsoft have to keep expanding until when it reaches now. Another thing was the drivers. I remember, I'm a computer technician also. When you format a computer, in those time when we format a computer with Windows XP or XP Part 2, you have to go and download the drivers also and start installing the drivers one by one. So Service Part 3, as you can see on the screen, when XP Part 3 came, it came with the drivers. Okay, so when you install it, you just have to pick the Mac of your computer, and if you got the licensed operating system, this one is going to come with everything. It's going to come with all the drivers, and what you have to do there is just to update, is just to click the Mac of your operating system. Then this one is just going to pick up the drivers and install it all one by one without missing any driver. Okay, so now after that, it comes up to Windows NT. Windows NT was now shifting the technology, changing the scale and moving out a little bit, where we will start having when the graphic user interface computer start manifesting high, and in that particular stage, Mac also start performing. Okay, Mac also start performing its own side. So, but please, I'm going to be concentrating more on the Microsoft operating system, because this one of the most best and highly used operating system that many people are using. Okay, so I want to concentrate on this part. But if you want to learn about Mac, you can drop your comment in a comment section. I'm going to stay attuned to you. All right, so now, so they keep moving to Windows NT. From Windows NT, we move up to Windows and Vista. From Windows Vista gave birth to Windows 7. Okay, Windows 7 is one of the most familiar operating system that many of us here will know about it. Also, after the Windows 7, now it gave birth to Windows 8. After Windows 8, it have the Windows 2010. Okay, and with the latest one, which is now a Windows 2011. All right, so that is just the history of operating system. Thank you all for watching, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. And as we move ahead, after, when you power on your computer, when you check on your computer, you just see the power button, you press the power button, it loads your operating system, and it comes to the desktop. Okay, this area that you are seeing here is what is called the computer desktop. All right, all this entire area that is highlighted here is what is called the computer desktop. On the computer desktop now, when you boot your computer, that finally boots and come, this is where it lands you. This is where it lands you. Okay, now when the computer lands you at this particular point in time, if you have never used a computer before, if you don't know the operating system that is installed on your computer, how did you know the operating system that is installed on your computer? Okay, please, if you are using Windows XP, I don't know if people are still using Windows XP, you will see something like my computer. Okay, around here you see something like my computer. Okay, on all these icons you see my computer. If you are using Windows 7, you still see a computer. If you are using Windows 8 above, you will see this PC. Okay, so now if you want to know the version of the operating system in which your computer is running on, just come here on either my computer, this PC, just right click there and you take on property. Okay, when you take on property, it's going to load and come. Okay, this is how it will come here. So now when it loads and come here, this is where you can read everything about your computer and the operating system in computer or in your equipment. So any equipment that you are using, it is running on operating system. This is also one of the things that you have to know when you want to buy a computer. Okay, don't just go to the shop and just buy a computer and carry it and you start moving home that you have gotten a computer. So this is going to help you to really know a lot. So now, it first gives you the specification of your computer. So this is the name that the person that formatted give it. If you want to know, like somebody will tell you this is Core i5, this is Core i7. So when you right click there, you can come here, you can read the processor speed of your computer. Okay, this is the processor speed of your computer. So it's from here that you can be able to know if your computer is actually Core i5 or it is Core i2 or Core i3. Okay, so now the processor is also, you have to know that the processor is measured in gigahertz and megahertz. If you see the core, this is 5 cores computer. Okay, that means that it can run it is running on 2.40 gigahertz on 5 times. Okay, 2.40 gigahertz on 5 times. So you can take this gigahertz and you multiply by 5, you can tell you the numbers of instructions that your computer can execute at once. Now, if you one of the things you have to know around here is that if this gigahertz was into megahertz, if you see but megahertz, even it is like 600, it is like 6.5 gigahertz megahertz, you will not be able to run at the speed of 2.4 gigahertz. If you see megahertz, know that your processor is still a very weak processor. Okay, now you can see the install RAM of this computer. What is the RAM capacity? The RAM is a random access memory. Okay, this is the memory that hold instruction for the computer, the instruction that is rapidly needed by this processor to be able to work. So even if the processor is high and the RAM is very low, your computer is actually still going to be a very slow computer. Okay, because even if this processor is like, it's like somebody which is stealing the sword and somebody giving the seed for the to plant them. So if no matter how fast you can see the sword, if there's nobody to give you the seed to plant, you are still going to be slow on your work. Okay, so it's also always good that you should have a very good RAM. Okay, also have a very good RAM. Now the operating system that is running on this computer is a 64-bit operating system. 64-bit. Now we have the I have not mentioned this on my introduction, but now we are inside the operating system. We're navigating in properly there. Okay, so now this, we have two type of operating system. We have the 64-bit and the 32-bit operating system. The 64-bit is like the most, is like the stronger. Okay, but now what happened during installation? If you are a technician and during installation, you are going to see you are going to see 84-bit and 64-bit. Okay, you are going to take that 82, instead you are giving the 32-bit to the computer. Okay, and you take the 64. The 64 is most preferable. Why? Because it have what we call the forward and the backward compatibility in other software programs. That means that a software that can run on 32-bit operating system will be able to run very well on the 64-bit operating system, but a soft 32-bit operating system can run very well on the 64-bit operating system. But a 64-bit software, a 64-bit software cannot run on a 32-bit operating system. Okay, so that is why you need to know about this. Now the Windows specification, the edition that we are using on this computer, like I said, this is the Windows 10 operating system. Okay, I'm using Windows 10 on my computer, so this is where you can come to know it, that you are using the Windows 10. So the date that it was installed, this was installed on the 10th of November of February 2024. All right, so the license, this is the license of my operating system. Okay, I have a license operating system, because it's always good to also have a license operating system, because the license operating system, it means that you bought it from the owner and everything is still okay there. So we have understand how to check the operating system of our computer and also even know the specification of our computer if it is okay. Now, also in level of the desktop, now we have the icons. Okay, these are icons here. So what are icons? What are icons? So somebody may ask you, what are icons? You may be telling somebody that, I visit Impact Fuse today, then he mentioned something about icons. So icons are just graphical symbols on the computer desktop area, which shows different, which represent either a hardware or a software that is installed on a computer. Okay, you will see some these icons, all will not just be that representing a program, all are not representing a program. Some represent hardware. For instance, if I connect something like a printer to this my PC today, I have an icon for that particular printer. Okay, some other modern hardware equipment, they come with their own icons. When you install on the system, the icon is going to be there. So these icons will help you now to be able to use your operating system to control that particular hardware. Remember, I tell you that the operating system itself is an enabling environment for other softwares to and hardware to run properly. Okay, now for instance, this is a Photoshop. This is Photoshop. So this icon represent what? It is representing Photoshop. Okay, and you have the OBS Studio, which is my application that I'm using for recording. All right. So and you have CapCut. So these are software. Okay, and you have this is the game that I always play when I want to relax. You can get it there. Now, one of the things that we want to I can't escape here is that you have to know that these icons are also divided into two. Okay, these icons are also divided into two. We have what we call the default icon and the customized icon. The default icons, every computer always come with four default icons. Okay, every computer always come with these four default icons. But now in advanced operating system like the Windows 10, you have the five default icons, which these five default icons are what? You have the user. In a Windows XP, Windows 7, you will see like my document. Okay, my document. You have this PC, which is also known as my computer in other Mac or Windows operating system. You have the network, you have the recycle bin, and you have the control panel. Okay, so these are the default icons. So how can you differentiate it with other icons? When you want to look at something like this other icon here, the VCL, okay, the VCL media player, and you have this TikTok live studio, you can discover something that they have an arrow on it. They have an arrow on it, meaning that these are icons that represent softwares that have been installed into this computer. You have to know this. You have to get this difference very well. Okay, when you see an icon with an arrow pointing on it like this, as you can see here on the screen, let me put it large. This is going to tell you that these are just softwares that have been installed or install programs or install hardware. Okay, now one of the things that people also mix up is that this is not an icon. Okay, as you can see, these ones that I'm selecting here, this is not an icon. These are just folders. Okay, these are folders, and this one here is not an icon, but it is a file. This is a file. Now I have bring some two new things here, which we are going to learn. So a file and a file and a folder. Now, mostly files are kept inside folder. Okay, files are kept inside folder, as well as you can keep files on your own. So, and what is a folder? A folder is just a directory where files are kept. It's the same like in our home. We have a folder where we keep different things. Okay, we have a folder where we keep different stuff. Okay, or like you can have a folder for your documents. You keep some of your documents there. You keep important documents. Some are just like folders where you keep something like your pictures and whatever thing there. So there's a lot of things when it comes to these files and folder. Now you can create a lot of folder. You can create folders for various purposes on your computer. Okay, so at the level of the desktop here, you can create a folder. Okay, this is, remember, this is the window desktop. I have already mentioned about it. You can create different folders. You can create different files there, or you can create different folders at the level of the desktop. Now, how can you create a folder at this level of the desktop? So now, if you want to create a folder, remember we say folder is just a directory where files are being kept. I'll right click. I can just like right click here. I'll take on new. Okay. When I'll take here on new, when I take on new, the next thing is that I'm going to take to folder, new folder. Okay. Now, when you click on this new folder, this is the new folder that we just created, and you see the name here is still highlighted, meaning that what we have to give a name to this folder. So I'm just going to come here. So I'm just going to come here. I type the name. Okay, I'll just give it like Practica. I can give it the name Practica. Practica. Okay, I just give it a name Practica. So this is our folder that we have created here, and the name is called what? Practica. So we have created this folder where at the level of the desktop. So that is just how we create a folder on desktop. Now if I open this folder, we are inside the folder called what? This is the name here. You can see the name here, Practica, and this folder is completely empty, and the location of this folder is found on the desktop. Now we can enter the folder. You can also create another folder. For instance, in this folder you can also create another folder. I can have a folder name Practica. Then inside this Practica we may create another folder. We may also create another folder by giving it the name. We can create another folder. Okay, so here we can create another folder and give it a name like maybe Excel, Microsoft Word. Okay, so now inside, how can we create another folder here? So I can just come here to my to my uh, to my tab bar here, to these tabs here that we have here. You can come here, then you can see from the home tab here. From the home tab, I can be able now to click on the new. Okay, new. If I click here on new, I can just access a new folder there. I can have a new folder now. Then I'll call it maybe Excel. I'll give it the name Excel. Okay, we can, the same way goes, you can still right click and you take new. Okay, you can still right click and you take new here, then you give it maybe Word. Okay, now if I close now, you see that inside this particular folder that we created, you can see that it's coming now more thicker because there are some other folder there, and these folders that are inside here are now called what? The subdirectory. These are called subfolders or subdirectory. Remember, some people tell you a folder is a directory. Okay, so these are like subfolders inside. For example, I can also say this Practica here is the main, is like a parent folder, and these are like children folder. Okay, now there is one thing that you have to remember. You can't give it two folders with the same name in the inside here. For instance, if I just take new folder, I want to give it Excel again. Actually, my operating system is going to reject it. So this is what is going to happen here. It's going to tell me that the destination already exists. It's the same thing that it happened. This is where the use of the operating system now come in. Like in our families, we can't have two people with the same name. I can't have two impact views. One. Like even now on YouTube, if you try to give your own channel impact views one, YouTube is going to reject because two children in the same house, in the same family, cannot be given the same name inside the same house. Okay, you may call one, you may instead better give another. If you want to create another impact fuse, it should better be impact fuse 2. YouTube can only give you impact fuse 2 and not still impact fuse 1. So at this particular juncture, you can only have Excel 1. Okay, but now if I cancel here, if I take cancel here, you see it return back. But if I now give it something like, if I now give him something like if I give it now, if I click on rename, I give Excel 2, Excel 1. Okay, this is Excel 1, Excel 2, Excel 3. It's going to accept it without any problem. Okay, so that is just one of the rules that you need to know when it comes to creating of folders. Okay, that is just how we can create folder. Now let's look at file management. File management is one of the key things in computing, especially when people doesn't know how to deal with file management. You are going to have a lot of issue. You will just have a computer which is the same like a toy to you, because or even when you save something or you keep something there, you will not know where to how to access it. So now to really know and master it very well, to master your file management very well, you have to know this. Either you are using my computer, use this PC or my computer. Okay, so when I launch my computer, this is also called the Window Explorer. Some people call it the Window Explorer. Okay, so this is where you can now get access to all locations, all the storage locations in this PC. If I have something like, maybe let's say, if I have something like flash, my flash drive also inserted into this computer, I am going to see it at this particular level. So this is what they call the drives. You see, I have drive, I have the local drive C, local drive, you have the drive D, and you have the CD drive, which is the CD-ROM, where I can insert the CD on this. If I insert also a CD on this computer and I want to access it, this is where I have to come here. Okay, I have to come here to access the CD. All right, so this drive D is always for the storage. Okay, this is always for the storage, and inside the storage you can save your things there. Okay, now you have to know that the local drive C that you are seeing here is a drive that consists the operating system of the computer. That is why when you look at it, you are seeing this there. Okay, the window logo key is always there in the window logo key. It represents a stand according to the version of the operating system. If this was Windows 7, you are going to see something like this on the screen, but since this is Windows 10, this is how the window logo key of Windows 10 is looks like. Okay, so now at this point we say that it's here that you can access all the storage areas of your computer. So sometimes I can be here, I need something to access the desktop. So here you see that this control, this file manager, this window explorer, or this my PC, it consists of two sides. Okay, you have the right side here, which is like it shows the location where currently you are, and the left side which shows the content of the location where you are, and the left side shows the different storage location. Okay, this is the left side here, which shows us the different storage location here. Now if I come here, I click on desktop, I can access the desktop from here without mainly going to desktop. So this is the folder that we created, practical, the practical folder. Okay, this is the folder here. Now I can be able to access this folder here without mainly going to desktop, and maybe inside here I cannot put something like I need maybe to open this folder, and maybe I add another folder inside. Let me call it starting. Okay, starting. Okay, so you see that from here now we can reach the desktop, we can reach the download, where in the download you can be able to see anything that has been downloaded from this system. Okay, so that is just how it happens here, that is just what goes there. So you can get to the documents, you can get to anywhere, and inside here now you can be able to create folders on these different locations of your computer without having any issue. Okay, so we have already understand that, we have understand how to create folder, we have understand how to manage it. Let's now we understand how to manage it. Let's now look at the copy and paste. Okay, I need to bring that folder where we create on the desktop to this drive V here. Okay, we need to bring it to drive V here. So inside here, how can I go? It's very easy. I don't need to come here, I close this one, or I minimize it or maximize it to go. I just have to click here now, then I ask, this is the folder called practical, I can just cut it. Okay, now we can take copy is like making a duplicate, cut is completely removing. Okay, delete, you want to really clear it off in the system. Rename is changing the name, and the property here is like maybe, okay, let us see what is the property, giving us the size, the date in which it was created, and whatsoever. And you can also keep it hidden there. All right, so if I want to take copy there, I just right click there, I take copy. Okay, I just take copy, then I'll come now, that means that I've created a duplicate of it. I'll come here, I'll now take what, paste. I'll take on paste. Okay, paste, you can still use Control V to paste, as well as Control C to copy. So that is just what it happens there. Now that is how it happens here. These are folder. Now files, somebody will now ask me that, what about files? Files are created using a program. Okay, for instance, this is a file created in Microsoft Word. Okay, this is a file created in Microsoft Word. You can also have a file which is created using in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, like inside here, I think I have some files here. These are my files that are created from Photoshop. Okay, so files are created on different programs. Different programs are used in creating different files. For example, Photoshop here is used for photo editing. Okay, my OBS Studio is used for my recording. My VLC media player is used to play music. Now if I open Microsoft Word in this computer, If I open Microsoft Word in this computer, which I just click on start, I'll scroll down to the folder or to the directory where it is called Microsoft Word. So I'm just going to click on, let me launch Microsoft Word 2007. So when I launch Microsoft 2007, from here I can create a program. Okay, we can now create a file. Okay, so I just assuming that we have typed something. Okay, that is just a function that I always use to insert some quick text. Okay, so this is the file now. Okay, now this is a file. This is a program that we're working on. So now, if I can now take on save here, I click on save. Save and save as they behave the same in the first time, but I'm not working on Microsoft Word today. Please, maybe in another tutorial I am going to come back to this, but this is not the time. So I'll just click here. So now I want to save in this particular folder inside your local drive D. So I have to scroll to local drive D the same way that if you have your flash here, if you were having a flash drive here, you just click on this PC. Okay, when you click on this PC and you scroll down on this right hand side here, on the right hand side here, you scroll down, you are going to see your flash there. Just open your flash, and when you open your flash, you locate the folder in which you want to save there. This is Word. I'll just open this Word and I'll open this starting. Then I'm going to give the name. Okay, I'll give the name of my file, like maybe start. Okay, starting inside a folder called start. And when you see that, when we give it the name, I've changed it up here. Now I close. If I close now, I want to locate that particular file. I'm just going to come here. I open this PC. When I open this PC, I'll come here, I'll open the folder. When I open the folder, I'll open Word. Now I need to open start. Then you see this is a file there. So that is how we create files. Okay, and the same way file management is the same like folder management. You can copy file, you can rename file, you can delete file, and you can add more files inside the same folder. Okay, so that is just about the operating system tutorial today. I believe that we are going to be coming up with more tutorials on computer demanding it, but please, before we exit this tutorial, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share. Okay, impactors, we are going to return back again. We are going to return back, and we also look at the taskbar. Okay, this is a taskbar. Right down here, what you are seeing here is called a taskbar. So here along this line is where, as you can see, the mouse is working there. This is where we call the taskbar of this computer. Okay, the taskbar, it consists of the start menu. It consists of the start menu, okay, or the start button, where you can click there on start to start searching on different programs in your computer, where you can navigate inside. Okay, so this start button is also like the window logo key on your computer. So when you just press the window logo key, it also gives you the same function like this start button here. Okay, now here on Windows 10, we also have the search. Okay, search is like for quick navigation. Okay, if you know something that you want to get in your computer and you want to go so fast, you can just take what search. Okay, search is going to help you to search very fast and go. Like when I was looking for my, if I want to do something like disk clean up, or I want to do some dinos on my computer, I'll use my command, one of the command which is known as the dxdiag. Okay, the dxdiag, which is one of the command to run dinos on the computer. So if I give dxdiag, I take enter the that is how I'm going to do it. This is something, it is something that is found inside the computer. So I'll use what, I use the search to quickly get there without wasting so much time. Okay, so now that is just how it happens there. So we are not going to be exhausting this one for now. We are not going to be exhausting it for now, please. Okay, now after here, so on the syntax bar here, it shows you the program. These are the programs that are currently running on this computer. So once you open any program on the computer, for instance, let me open back Microsoft Word. Okay, so if you see, I've opened Microsoft Word and I still keep it down here. Okay, so You can open, that is what that is this, it helps you to multitask. Okay, the main purpose of this area, it helps you to multitask your computer. Multitask means that you can be running more than 5 different programs. You just open one, you minimize it, you open the other one, you minimize it. The same, there are moments that you can be doing typing or research. Okay, you can be accessing the browser of your computer and you have some music behind that you are playing. So all will be showing here. These are showing some active. These ones that are highlighted are mostly showing you the active versions. Okay, what is currently going on now in this computer. Okay, so it's showing you the active versions, the active part of it. All right, coming to this side now, we also have to be looking at some things that we have like the timing. It also gives us a timing. Okay, the day, the current date of your computer. Remember, in some now the operating system, like we said, that it manage everything in your computer. In some scenario, when the date and time of the computer is not okay, the computer, the software, the operating system is going to tell you to make sure that you arrange the date on your computer before it can really go very well. Okay, so, and in that particular case, you can come here now on the taskbar. You can have it, the language in which your computer is currently running on, which mine is currently running on the English United States. Okay, so now, and you have also the sound controller here, still on the taskbar. You have the sound controller where you can be able to add the time or the sound, or you reduce the sound of your computer. Okay, to any level that you want it. Now the next thing is that you can have the Wi-Fi. Okay, if your computer has Wi-Fi and you want to maybe use Wi-Fi on your computer, this is just where you can come there. You click on this icon here. You are going to have access to it. So this is just about what you have to know about operating system and how to use the operating system of your computer. So we are going to end this full tutorial here. This is already getting to 15-minute tutorial, but please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share this video. Encourage us to create more nice and amazing content like this one. So before we can end it here, remember we talk about the default icon, and all these default icons, they also have their different purposes. If you want to configure the network on your computer, you are going to use then my network. Okay, in lesser version operating system, you are going to see something there which is known as the my network. Okay, now if you are using the Wi-Fi, no need to come here. You are just going to, except you want to now start configuring the IP address on your computer, you just come to the taskbar here. You are going to get it. Now you have the recycle bin. Okay, the recycle bin, which is also like a dustbin of the house. It's like a dustbin that you have in your house. Now if you delete anything in your computer, it comes to this recycle bin, and now the operating system is now the one providing all that. So you need to first hold it to make sure that you should be certain that you want to delete this thing. You should be certain that you want to take this action. So now, even if I come here now and I click on empty recycle bin, you see I still need to answer some question. You have to warn me, are you sure that you want to permanently delete this folder? If I take yes, it goes completely and it will not ever come back again. But please, you have to note one thing, that this goes different with external storage device like memory cards and the flash drive. When you delete anything there, it doesn't ever comes to recycle bin. It turns automatically to wood arch. Okay, it turns automatically to wood arch. And now this is just the window desktop, like we said, where here are the operations, everything can start here. All right, so before we go, see, we will remind you again that if you really like this video, just turn on your notification button, hit the subscribe button. Why not subscribe to membership to encourage us to be able to continue to create more amazing content like this one. See you in our next tutorial. Subscribe to our channel.